Good morning. It is good to see and a joy and a blessing to be with you all. I'm Richard Mirage. I am the lead minister here, and it is good to see you. Welcome to Unity of Phoenix.
And I'm Reverend Tina Brown. I'm the spiritual education minister. So happy to be with you this morning on this beautiful day.
And I'm Jimmy Scott, ditto.
He is a man of few words, isn't he? Ditto. All right. So we have two intentions today. The first one is that you have a profound and meaningful experience of God. So I just want you to take a deep breath. I want you to let go of whatever is concerning you. Allow this service to help open your heart to touch you in a profound and meaningful way. To have Spirit inspire you, uplift you, and heal you and minister to you in exactly the way that your life needs it, to open up, to truly live life and live it more abundantly. Second intention is that you will feel a feeling of connection, a feeling of community and oneness. I just want you to know every single one of us plays a role in creating the energy we create. So please know I'm glad you're here and know that your presence makes a difference. So right now I want you to turn to the person to your left and right, look at me in the eye and say, I'm glad you're here today. Your presence makes a difference.
I'm glad you're here today.
Gretzky, I'm glad you're here. Your presence makes a difference. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here today, brother.
Your presence makes a difference.
I love working with you.
Glad you're here today. Your presence makes a huge difference. You too, and you too, and you too.
Hey, I said the person to your left and right. I didn't say work the whole room, okay? But I love you feeling the connection. I love that.
So if you can bring your attention back to this space, how about joining me in affirming our mission statement together? Unity of
Phoenix is a loving spiritual community that welcomes all people and honors all paths to God. We are dedicated to transforming lives by inspiring and awakening individuals to discover God's Spirit within. Amen.
And now it's time for us to turn our attention to our meditation. If you have a cell phone, please put it on silent at this time as we begin by singing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can feel the blush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
The Lord is indeed in this place. And as we join our hearts and our minds together as one body, one spirit, one presence, we give thanks for this opportunity to come together in this community. We give thanks for the living presence of God within us, expressing in us, through us. We know that God is working in every area of our life for the good. And so in this awareness, we release and let go of any outer concerns we may have brought here with us, any challenges we may be facing. And we know and we trust this divine presence of God. And so as we turn within to the inner chambers of our hearts, to that place where the still small voice speaks, we let go and we let God, knowing and trusting that all things are in divine order. So we still our mind, allow the body temple to relax, and we give thanks as we enter into a time of the silence. And as we gently begin to bring our awareness back to the sanctuary in this service, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, in the name and through the power of the living Christ presence. And so it is, and so we let it be. And now let us join together as we affirm and sing our Lord's Prayer.
Good morning again, everyone. And a special shout out to everybody who tunes in and watches us online. Thanks for joining us. So there's this American guy crossing the border back into the U.S., and he's riding a bicycle, and he's got these two heavy bags that are balanced on his shoulders. And the guard asks, he said, so what's in the bag? And the guy said, well, sand. And the guards want to examine them, so the guy gets off his bicycle and puts the couple of bags down, and they open it up and find out that it's just sand. So the guy packs him back up, balances him back on his shoulders, and continues riding his bicycle. Then 2 weeks later, the same guy comes in the same situation. So what do you got in there? And he said, well, I just got some sand. So he gets off the bicycle, takes the bags down, and they open them to find out that there's only sand. And 2 weeks for every 2 weeks, the next 6 months, same guy, same situation. Gets off his bicycle, puts down the bags, find out it's only sand, and this just keeps happening. And then so the guy misses a week, and then the guard is downtown and sees the guy, and he says, hey, you were driving us crazy, man. You know, we knew you were smuggling something. We knew you were up to something, so how about it? You're not going to get in trouble, but I just want you to tell me, so what were you smuggling? And the guy looked at him and said, bicycles. And so... So have you ever missed something that was right in front of you? You know, and then you find out the answer, and then you thought, gosh, that was so obvious. It was so simple. Why didn't I get it? Let me give an example. How many people want to be happy, healthy, and successful? How many people would like to be, you know, everybody, all of us want those three things. We want to be happy, we want to be healthy, we want to be successful. And we are taught that if we set our goals, if we work real hard and achieve success, we'll be happy. If we take care of our health and eat well, sleep, exercise, if we become healthy, we will be happy. If we do the right things, you know, if we do the best things to achieve what we want, we will be happy. And that sounds logical. It sounds obvious. You know, it seems very, very reasonable. Turns out, that's not true. Turns out we have it backwards. Research, according to research, achieving good health and success does not lead to happiness as much as happiness leads to good health and success. Research shows that being happy first will actually more likely get you to be more successful, to be more healthy, because happy people tend to be more positive, more energetic, they see more possibilities, they have a more can-do attitude, they have a more resilient spirit. We thought it was one thing, and it's actually another. How many people, and especially New Thought people, know and have been taught to believe that we create our lives through our thoughts? How many people do that? We create our lives. We've heard the books, Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. You know, Earl Nightingale's famous The Strangest Secret, which is we become what we think about. Unity has even a law of mind action. They say thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. We are strong believers that our lives are created by our thoughts, by our thinking. In her book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, Lynn Grabhorn shares a story of her attending a Little League baseball game to watch a little home run hitting phenom named Jesse in action. And this guy is smaller than all the other players, and yet he hits the ball further and more consistent. So she goes to the game, and the little guy gets in the box, little guy, and he ends up hitting 4 home runs. She's so amazed, she goes to him after and says, so Jesse, how'd you do that? How did you hit these 4 home runs? Why are you such a good hitter? And he says, I don't know. He said, just each time I get up to bat, I just feel what it's going to be like to connect. And I do. And in her book, she asserts that we do not create by our thoughts, we create by our feelings. That it is not thinking things into a being, it is actually feeling things into being. Now that's a cool and wonderful assertion, but I don't agree with it. Now what I do agree with is that we tend to overlook, we tend to underutilize and undervalue the power of our feelings in the creative process. That it is a far more powerful creative tool than we realize, but I absolutely believe that both thought and feeling are an important part of creating our lives. Let me give you the examples for this. You've all heard, as a man thinketh, so is he. Everybody's heard that? It's actually not what it says. It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And out of this, I've created what I call the creation equation, which is the thought plus feeling equals outcome. As a man thinketh, the thought, in his heart, the feeling, so is he, the outcome. Let me give you something that Jesus said. Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you've received it, and it will be yours. Whatever you ask in prayer, the thought, believe that you have received it, the feeling, and it will be yours, the outcome. It works for everything. Thought plus feeling equals the outcome. Let me give you in a slightly negative way. I remember in the book of Job when he said, the thing that I have feared has come upon me. Same equation of creation. The thing, the thought, that I have feared, the feeling, has come upon me, the outcome. Anybody here ever have a thought of something you're afraid, it's like, oh, I'm going to get hurt in that relationship, or this situation's going to go bad. Anybody have a thought that you feared that came upon you? Anybody? Ever? And here's the thing, that feelings magnetize or increase the attracting power of the thought. The thoughts and feelings are energy. It's the law of attraction. It is that connection. And that the stronger the feeling is to the thought, the stronger the magnetic attraction or vibration of that particular thing to create its outcome. Is that making sense, everybody? And so it is a powerful thing to utilize both the thought and infuse it with the feeling. And I love it because it is a matter of both. It is the thought and the feeling. And interestingly, it is the masculine and the feminine. And then it gives it a whole balanced approach. Because if you just try to think your way, it's not, because it's not whole. And I would say if you try to feel your way, it's not as whole. But you add both and you magnetize and multiply the attracting force of your ability to create. Now, everybody in my prosperity class has heard this because this is an important part of our prosperity class. Prosperity isn't just about thinking what you want or having a vision or goal. It is about thinking it and beginning to feel prosperous. To feel what it would feel like to have the thing that you desire. We all think it all the time. We don't always add the feeling to it. So let's do it now. Everyone, think of something you want in your life. Bring it to your mind and to your thought. Now I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to feel what you would feel like if you had that thing right now. What would you feel like if you had the thing that you are desiring in your life right now? Connect with that feeling. How good would that feel? How wonderful. How joyful and confident. Connect with the feeling. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Again, connect with the feeling. Take a deep breath. Anchor that feeling as real as you can make it. Whatever you're asking in prayer, believe that you've received it to the point you can feel it, and it will be yours. One more time. Connect with the feeling. Deep breath. And just let it go as we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. How many people were able to cultivate a bit of a feeling for that? How many people had a tough time, but if you practice, you'd get better at it? Okay? Interestingly, many of us are accustomed to thinking about what we want, but we aren't accustomed to actually infusing feeling into what we want. So for many of us, it's a little awkward, and it takes a little bit of practice. And you know why it's hard for us to do the feeling thing? Because in our culture, we value thinking over feeling. Thinking is strong, it's masculine, it's powerful. Feeling is considered kind of weak. It's soft. It's not a sign of strength. It's not considered strong and powerful. You've all heard. You remember the Napoleon Hill book? What was it called? Think and Grow Rich. Think. That's how highly it's revered. Anybody ever read the book Feel and Grow Rich? Because no one wrote it. Because we don't value that. Doesn't that sound goofy? Feel and grow rich. That sounds so woo-woo and airy-fairy. We say things like, I need to think my way out of this problem. Anybody ever say, I got to feel my way through this? We don't say that. Rodin, the great sculptor, remember he's got that thing? The thinker. No sculptor yet has got the feeler. No. You will find no sculptor or the feeler. Why? And it sounds silly, but it's because we don't revere or hold feelings as value and powerful. Many of us think that feelings are reactive, not creative. Feelings are a reaction to something that happens. Something good happens, you feel good. It's a reaction, a response to something. It's not creative. It's just a reactive thing. We don't trust feelings. Sometimes we don't want to feel feelings. It's because we don't think we can depend and control feelings. I'll let my feelings get the better of me. But the fact is, they're a lot more powerful. We just don't believe we can control them. Let me give you an example. Anyone here ever felt sad or blue, a little melancholy, and you're sitting there, and you're thinking, why am I not feeling? Why am I feeling sad? Everything seems to be okay, but why am I feeling sad? Anybody had that kind of feeling? You didn't know why you were melancholy, you just were melancholy? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, there could be something deeper going on that we're not aware of. But here's the second one. Is that we've gotten so accustomed sometimes to just feeling blue that we've created a habitual pattern of feeling blue no matter what's going on. And we sometimes look around and wonder why. It's because we have not always allowed ourselves to control our thoughts, to control our feelings. We're so accustomed to pain, adversity, and focusing on what isn't working that we tend to sometimes buzz on a low-grade level of not being as happy, even when things are going well. Anybody here? Here's another example. Things going so good? They're going so good. You are on such a roll. You are in the flow, and it's so good, you start worrying. Is something going to go wrong? Anybody ever do that? So good, because we're so unaccustomed to allowing ourselves to feel good, training ourselves to feel good, and particularly for long periods of time. I want you to think about, on the course of your day, what is the level of feeling good that you have in your life? What is that level? And I want you to think about whatever that level you tend to always feel, mostly in your day, and ask yourself the question, how many people know that you could kick that feeling good level up a notch in your life? Anybody? See, we think we can't control our feelings, and that is not true. We think that they're not creative, but that's not true. Here, let me show you an example to create and how we can control our feelings. Right now, everybody, I'm going to tell you some feelings, and I want you to cultivate them. I want you to feel them right now. First one, I want you to feel tired and lethargic. Take a deep breath and just feel tired and lethargic. Just feel tired, lethargic. I know this is looking sick and pathetic, but I'm just my best. I'm giving my best. Okay, here's another one. I want you right now to cultivate a feeling. I want you to feel powerful. Take a deep breath. Feel powerful. Connect with the feeling of feeling powerful. And let's add confident there. Take a breath. Feel powerful and confident. Let's kick it up a notch. I want you to feel excited and enthusiastic. Can you kick it up there? Take a deep breath. Can you go there a little bit? Feel excited. Feel enthusiastic. Okay. And you can open your eyes now. How many people were able to go there a little bit better, were you? See, the deal is we think we can't control our feelings. At any given day, at any given moment, you can feel better or worse if you want. You could feel happy, you could feel depressed, you could feel worried, you could go in any direction you want. That's how powerful you are. We just don't always realize or take control of our own feelings. Let me give you a biblical example. Everybody remember the feeding of the 5,000? Remember? So there it is. Jesus has got a talk coming up. And the people are hungry. There's a little bit of panic for a speaker. You don't want your people hungry and upset. They're not going to listen. And so he could have panicked, but here in this situation, here's the thing. In that tough situation, he chose to feel calm. He chose to feel grateful that he had at least some bread. Every one of us in a tough situation can choose to feel calm and choose to feel grateful. And Jesus went a little further. He didn't just give thanks for everything that he had there in the moment. He then gave thanks in advance. He went proactive with the feeling gratitude to make it a preview, not a review of what had come, a preview of coming attractions. And he felt thankful in advance. He felt good in advance that things are going to work out. Could you imagine if you had a meeting coming up and you gave thanks in advance it was going to go well? Could you imagine for your week, you give thanks in advance. You feel good in advance you're going to get that job. You feel good in advance you're going to find a solution to that problem. Every one of us has the power to cultivate our feelings. And I want to call it cultivate your dominant feeling. Not only any feelings, but your dominant daily feeling. So my question for you is if you could create any feeling you want, and you can, what feeling do you want to feel most of the day? Can you connect with that? What feeling would you like to feel the majority of the day? What feelings inspire you? What feelings uplift you? What feelings make you feel alive? And are you willing to center in that feeling, own it, and cultivate it frequently throughout the day? Because you don't need any, Jesus showed you don't need the circumstances to be that way. You can cultivate and then create a habit pattern of a dominant, default, consistent level of feeling to raise your life, to raise your game, to raise your feeling and your experience. You know, Reverend Jill Rogers is a close friend and a fabulous personal coach. She does a thing called taking a stand, finding your stand. And so she has the male or female say their name, and if it's a woman, you know, my name is Mary Smith, and I'm an extraordinary woman. If you're a man, you're like, I'm Richard Mirage, I'm a great man. And then she has to come up with your stand. What's your stand? What do you stand for? You know. And so mine, after praying, here's mine. I'm Richard Mirage. I am a great man. I am living my life with joy, and I enjoy living my life. And that is, and so what it is the anchor and the intention of how we want to feel and live life. So that on the times that we stray and get frustrated, distracted, and disappointed, that we could take a deep breath, and I am Richard Mirage, and I'm living my life with joy, and I enjoy living my life. You get back to your anchor, your dominant feeling of joy. So my question for you, what would be your dominant feeling? Is it to feel peaceful? Is it to feel prosperous? Is it to feel passionate? You know? Is it to feel love? Whatever it is, you have the power. The question is, are you willing to make that commitment, to anchor that, to own that, and to cultivate it throughout your day so it becomes your dominant level of joy? How many people know that it would benefit your life and improve it if you were to choose to cultivate and to call forth a dominant feeling in your life? I think we all would. And so it is for our goals, thought and feeling. It is creating a dominant feeling and thought. And here's another important way. Every one of us has a certain number of activities, responsibilities, and some people in our lives that don't give us the warmest fuzzy feelings doing it or being around them. Do we not? Don't you have some activities like, God, I just don't like doing this. I'm not good at this. This is drudgery. Like, think of the feelings you have for these things. Doing laundry. How does that trigger for you? You know, paying bills. You know, washing the dishes. You know, getting to the gym to work out. You know, paying your taxes. Having your in-laws come stay with you. I mean, I don't know. This could be very joyful. I'm just giving ideas, suggestions. You know, so when someone cuts you off on the highway, going to the dentist, dealing with difficult people, maybe going to work, having to fix a leaky faucet or your car always breaking down. Or how about it when your spouse or your partner says, honey, we need to talk? I mean, I bet you we all have a number of activities where we feel a little anxious, a little negative, where we don't enjoy it or have fun, where we feel fearful or frustrated. We all have that. Well, here, if that's the feeling we have when we pay our bills, feeling down, feeling upset, don't you think that vibrational level, again, back with the law of attraction, putting that energy out every time you do that kind of attracts even more of that stuff? Every one of us has the power to take activities or individuals or situations that aren't as pleasant and infuse a higher level of energy while we do it. Let me give you an example with myself. One of the things I've not really enjoyed is, difficult situations or hard conversations, people when they don't agree with my decisions in the ministry are mad at me. Those things aren't quite as much fun. I get lots of opportunities to experience it, but it is. And I would tell myself, I don't like that part of the job, or management or budget. I would tell myself that stuff. And I thought, after 3 or 4 years ago, I said, there's no reason to tell myself that. In fact, there's no reason why I can't enjoy that. There's no reason why I can't claim and say, I will be calm and clear and confident in those experiences. In those experiences, I could actually be excited about learning. I could actually be excited about opening myself to Spirit and allowing Spirit to move through me to come up with the best solution. I can actually be fulfilled in those situations. And I will tell you, my attitude towards all of that stuff, because we all have things in our lives and our jobs that we don't, but it has actually transformed it. Not only gotten better, but I find it more joyful, and it's because I've kicked up my attitude and my feeling towards it. So that for you, so the next time you start paying your bills, you can take a deep breath and choose to have it be a joyful experience. An experience of saying, thank God I have electricity, that I'm able, and I'm paying that APS bill, thank God that I have, air conditioning, thank God that I have, food, thank God I have all these things, because these bills allow me, to have all these wonderful experiences. The next time your spouse says, honey, we need to have a talk, take a deep breath and just give thanks, knowing that through that, we're going to work through something that's going to make us deeper, create a deeper connection. We are a team, and we can work through this together to have something even greater. Whether it's paying your taxes or doing the dishes, anything you can transform and kick up a notch, that level, by creating a feeling good feeling, because you have that power and that ability. The question is, are you willing to put that into practice? What I've come to realize is feeling is a lot more powerful and important in our lives than we realize. I'll guarantee you, anything you want in your life, it isn't the thing that you want that you want. What you are really looking for is the way that thing makes you feel. That whatever it is that you want, beneath it, there is a feeling that you're seeking. That if you want more money, there's actually a feeling of security, a feeling of success and confidence. If you want a relationship, it's to feel loved, to feel cherished, to feel cared for. If you want a better golf swing, if you want to run a marathon, if you want to lose 10 pounds, I guarantee it, underneath it, there is a feeling that everyone is looking for. And don't you think it would be better in our lives to start focusing a little bit more on the feeling than the thing? Because if you're looking for a relationship where you want to feel cherished and loved, how tall they are and all these other list things that we do, and I've done it myself, is not as important as how you actually want to feel. And with a job, we're always this amount of money, that amount of title, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But isn't it more important to say, I want to feel fulfilled? I want to feel a sense of purpose. Because if you get to the feeling, it will begin to change and transform your life. The Dalai Lama said the point of life is happiness. And to me, the happiness is a feeling. It's about feeling good. We all are seeking to feel good. And if you go a little deeper, you know what feeling good's about? It's about feeling God. That regardless of what you think your goals are on the outside, you want to feel more God. You want to feel more wholeness. You want to feel more love, more connection, more oneness, more fulfillment. That's what we want. We want to feel more of the quality of God. Life is so much more about feeling than we realize. Success and health doesn't bring happiness. Happiness brings health and success. You can think you're thinking about creating your life, but it isn't just about thinking. It is actually about feeling. Feeling is a powerful thing. The question is this week, are you willing to cultivate it and utilize it in your life? This week I encourage you to use the creation equation. Thought plus feeling equals outcome. Whatever your goals are, take a moment or two to feel what it would be like to have it. Secondly, start cultivating and getting clear about what your dominant feel-good feeling is, whether it's joy or excitement or passion or prosperity or peace, and let that be your dominant feeling. And third, whatever activity feels like drudgery or misery, I want you to allow yourself to feel your way to allow it to be a positive and joyful experience. Excuse me, your life is waiting. It is waiting for you to take charge of it. It is waiting for you to call forth the amazing powers you have to live the life you came to live, to become the person you came to be, and to make the difference you came to live. You can kick up your life if you are willing to discover and use the astounding power and the creative power of feelings. God bless you all. So, buddy, let's all rise now. The kids are going to lead us in the prayer of protection, and then we're going to close the service with our song of peace. You guys want to lead us? Okay, go ahead.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.
Woo! I know they don't say that here. It's God bless you. Have a great day and a wonderful week.